In this video, I will be telling you 10 tips to make you better at Call of Duty. If you are here, you're probably garbage at the game, or you just want to improve, and we will do just that.
Fucking loser.
Let's begin with tip number 1. So for tip number 1, this is probably the tip I use the most. It's drop shotting.
He's a pussy.
I know, when you see someone drop shot, oh, this loser, and stuff like that, like, why would you drop shot? But it actually saves you so many times. It'll help you win so much more 1v1s. But like everything, once it's a blue moon, you will die. But usually it's because you miss your shots. If they like jump over you, you're at a very narrow perspective. You can't move very fast when you drop shot. Also, keep in mind, bigger guns take longer to lay down. Just keep that in mind when you're drop shotting.
Oh, nigga!
Second tip is learn to use your primary gun. What I mean by this is stop changing your primary, like your main loadout so many times. You'll never master a gun and learn how to play a gun if you just keep changing.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
You play every gun different, so just stick with your main gun that you like, or try a new gun, it doesn't really matter, but just stick with that gun until you feel that like you know how to play with it, and then you can try a different gun. But just make sure your primary gun that you use, that you are sticking with it and learning how to use it the right way. You will be so much better. Tip number 3. Have a good secondary. Secondary's main goal is just to be there when your primary gun runs out of ammo. If you are a person that likes to rush, do not have a rocket launcher. It's not feasible. And then if you run out of ammo in your main gun, or you have to reload and it takes too long, switching to a rocket launcher, you're gonna kill yourself most likely. Basically, just choose a secondary that supports your playstyle. Tip number 4. This is a doozer. Stop being so predictable.
Huh?
Holy crap. Don't run down a hallway or into the open when you know there are enemies nearby. I mean, it's one thing if you know where they're at, you can fucking play around it, but don't try and just run right down the middle, or don't follow your team. I hate following my teammates. They always lead me to die. Just stop being so predictable. Just don't run in a straight line either. Don't run in the middle. Go on the sides. Tip number 5 kind of goes along with the last one. Stop being so unaware. So kind of like the teammate thing, if they're shooting nearby when you're flanking and like you're being quiet and they start running towards you, because they will most likely get you caught. If they're running at you, just like run where they're not gonna go, because you know they're stupid. They're gonna run like right through a side door that they're waiting at. But you're gonna keep flanking. Do not run with your teammate. Always let you down. Not always, but most of the time they'll let you down and they will end up killing you indirectly. Tip number 6, map awareness. Some of the maps in Modern Warfare 2 are very questionable in their layouts. Knowing each, I mean, you don't have to know each map, but being able to look at your minimap and see where you're going and being able to predict where the enemy would be. Like if I'm playing Hardpoint, I know where the enemy's gonna be looking most of the time. There's always those weird kids that are not there. Just know or have a good idea of where they'll be spawning. Usually away from the point or and away from your team, that's where they're gonna be spawning. I don't want to say camp, but like hold a position for like 1 second and wait for them to run around. You will catch them off guard. It is very useful. Number 7, use your equipment wisely and use the right equipment. If you're a person who likes to push and be aggressive, don't have a fucking deployable cover. First of all, it's such a loser thing to have. And second of all, it will not help you most of the time. Have something like Dead Silence or Battle Rage or something that helps you survive and kill. Leave the deployable cover to your brain dead camping teammates. Just make sure you use the right equipment for your playstyle. Tip number 8. This one's pretty easy. Use your lethals and tacticals. I know sometimes you die really quick before you can even use them. But like, I know some people who when they're about to die, they'll keep their flashes and their semtexes, or they won't even think about it, and it'll just go to waste. Throw them, and maybe disorient the team a little bit. I don't think you'll survive. You might, but it could also help your team. Like, especially if you have stims, don't fucking hold your stim because you don't think there's anyone nearby. There's always somebody nearby. Tip number 9, another nice big one. Jump around corners. I know. You see someone do this, and you're like, wow, they're a virgin. You're right, they are. That's why we're here. Anyways, this can be very useful in basically every situation. If you know an enemy is around a corner, don't slowly walk around the corner. You're gonna die, unless they have autism. If you walk around a corner, even if the map shows no one is there, it will become force of habit and it will save your life. You may not think it will change if you die, but it does. I die so often because of this. I mean, it's just so hard to counter because you just can't, I don't even know how to explain. You just can't move fast enough to like predict where they're going, and then you're a moving target trying to shoot them, so they just fuck you. But yes, just jump around all the corners. Be that weird, smelly person that you've always wanted to be. Tip number 10 is kind of an obvious tip. Get better aim. Practice how your gun handles and use it to your advantage. Having good aim will obviously help you. I bet you're thinking, duh, like of course it'll help me, but it will help you with drop shotters and people jumping around corners, because people who do not practice their aim are very susceptible to getting drop shotted and like confused when someone jumps around the corner. Practicing your aim is just very vital. Also, one last quick tip. Try to get better at hip firing. I suck at hip firing, and I always aim down sights. Of course, if they are in me, like inside of me, I'll hip fire them, but just make sure you know how you play. If you need to aim down sights, put the right attachments on your gun. I personally like that because it helps me, because I'm stupid. But yeah, just make sure you're practicing your aim, and you will see improvements on how fast you kill people. Those are 10 pretty easy tips to master. I hope you have learned something and are no longer the brick of your team. Good luck.